Hi guys, so in this video I'm going to basically introduce amigurumi to our group. I'd really like to start doing amigurumi a lot more because honestly it's a lot easier than doing squares because it's based off of single crochet and a little bit of half double crochet, but most of it is just increasing and decreasing, so it's a lot less to learn. And let's get started. So I wanted to show you this, which is like kind of like the basic building block of pretty much all pieces. It's an unfilled like ball, and you can use it for a head, a body, anything. It just depends on how many stitches you use to begin. Right now I haven't filled it. I'm going to go ahead and fill it, and I'll be back. 1 second. So I'm back and I filled this, and now it actually looks like a ball. It could possibly be a head because of its size, but this is basically all it is, and it's really simple to learn. So to begin with, there are a few like really important things that you should know about amigurumi. For one, if you look at this, you can see the stitches are like really tiny. And you can get like really tiny stitches with using a really tiny hook. And for this, I used a size 1 hook, and it looks like this. And you can see it's 2.75 millimeters, which is a lot smaller than the size F hook that we use to make our squares. That's the smallest size that we use to make our squares. Right here. And that is 3.75 millimeters. And I did do a test to see how much difference like 1 millimeter makes. And trust me, it makes a huge difference. I don't actually have the other piece that I made. I think I either took it out or I gave it to someone. But yeah. And I got these hooks. I got this hook in a pack of 3. These 3 hooks, it came size 1, size 7, and size 10. And you can see that as the numbers get bigger, the hook sizes get smaller. So like this is like quite big, and this is a little smaller, and this is like really puny. And I got these mainly to do thread crochet, and I will teach you that in another video. So main thing, you want to use a really small hook. If you don't use a small hook, you're gonna have, okay, so you see like the polyfillers right here, you're gonna have spaces that are really big in between like your stitches, and then this polyfill will start to come out of that, and you don't want that. Another big thing is you need to have some sort of filling to put into your pieces, like this. Now, polyfill is a great type of filling. It's like kind of like the filling that you put inside of pillows, and it's like this white substance. Let me show you. It looks like this. But you can also use yarn scraps. And by yarn scraps, I mean pieces like this, or like this, you know, the tail ends that you have when you finish making your piece. So what I recommend is when you're done with your square, most of you just leave a tail end like this. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's just that if you're going to do amigurumi, the best way to collect like ways to fill is to take this tail end, and you see the knot right there. Just take it and snip it. Just make sure you leave a little bit because you don't want the knot to come out, and you don't want to cut on the knot or else your whole square is going to come out. That's it. And you have like this little tail, and 1, it makes it really easy to connect the blankets when we're done, and 2, you'll have like a ton of these to use. So the same thing over here. You have this tail end, and all you have to do, take it and cut it, and you can save this. I actually found out that you could use yarn scraps from another video, and I thought it was a wonderful idea. The one thing you want to be really careful about is you don't want to use like really dark colors like these. They're like really, really dark. So that like if I were to put it in this white ball, you would be able to see it through, and you don't want people to see it. So that's the only thing. Another thing, with tail ends. Let me unfill this for you so you can see. So in amigurumi, it's made up of like balls or like other surfaces that are usually like filled, right? So the great thing about, oh my god, there's so much. Trust me, look how much polyfill I use just to fill up this one little ball. You use a lot. So, okay, there's no more. So here is the tail end from inside the ball. You can see it right here. And the great thing about amigurumi is that when you're making like surfaces like these, like 3D figures, you can just stuff your tail end inside and you don't have to worry about cutting it or weaving it in. And so, yeah, it's a great thing. Last thing I want to say is there are two different sides to amigurumi. I don't think you can see it here, but there's this side which is called the right side, and it looks like really, really nice and pretty, and it looks like a finished product. But on the inside, let me see if I can flip it over. I didn't flip over the whole thing, but you can see over here that there are stitches like these, and they don't really look that nice. They look like actual stitches that you would see on the square. So as compared to this looks like really shabby. So that's another thing that you really want to make sure you're looking out for when you're doing amigurumi, because you don't want to give someone like a backwards looking piece. And it's like, it gets a little difficult because what happens is when you're crocheting, it starts to form into a ball as you make this piece, but it starts to form into a ball on the other side, so it'll flip over, and what you have to do is just basically like cup it and make sure it stays perfect like this. So that's it for this video. It's a really short video. I just wanted to let you know what amigurumi is and some things about it that I have learned, and I hope that you have an interest to learn this.